Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's reviews. In store for you today is a new horror film making the waves, the latest biopic on a great athlete, and an Oscar-nominated Colombian film. The first review today is for The Witch, a horror film creating quite the stir lately since it played at Sundance over a year ago. Here's a clip.
Take the children outside.
What does this today? What does this? Smells are sealed up. Oh God! William!
Okay. Children, away from this. Thomas, now.
This film is told entirely in the Old English dialogue, which takes a little while to get used to, but eventually it just becomes a natural part of this historical setting. The film's director and writer, Robert Eggers, chooses a very minimalist approach, using mostly atmosphere and the historical time period to make it suitably creepy, rather than obvious tricks like jump scares and shaky camera work. The way it's set mostly in the secluded farm and the forest surrounding it really starts to creep on you after a while, particularly as it plays around with the notion of there being witchcraft afoot, and the accusations start flying. The script keeps you guessing, so it's uncertain how much of it is real witchcraft and how much is just paranoia. Eggers also appears to be saying something about how diseases of every kind were quite common back then, and the scariness of them not having the advanced medicine we have today. I also have to mention newcomer Anya Taylor-Joy, who plays the lead teenage girl at the center of the accusation during the period of these Salem witch trials. I thought she gave an excellent performance with a lot of depth. The Witch actually came about because of a company founded by Chris Columbus and his daughter Eleanor Columbus to support films made by first-time directors. And I think Robert Eggers is definitely someone to watch out for in the future. Next up is Race, a biopic on Olympic runner Jesse Owens, who dared to go to Berlin in 1936 when a fascist regime was peddling their segregated agenda.
And I'll probably end up drinking myself stupid and tell my coach he gets so sick of the sight of me that he gives me a goddamn job. You got a chance to be a part of history and you're gonna walk away from it, huh? Throw it away? I got people looking at me for an example. What do you mean people? What people? Black people? Come on, I don't give a shit about any of that. Yeah, well, you're white. You don't have to.
The Jesse Owens story is already a great one, and director Stephen Hopkins directs his take on it pretty well. Part of the success of this film is that it focuses primarily on him entering the track team at university and his time at the Olympics. It keeps the plot basic but still involving. When he steps up to the starting line, the energy gets pumped up and Hopkins makes it very exciting, even though he's running a very short distance. Stephen James gives a very strong performance as Owens, and Jason Sudeikis does a good job as his coach too. I also like how the film looks at the behind-the-scenes negotiations between the Olympic Committee and the Germans, basically showing how Avery Brundage was swayed to their side, though apparently he was not quite as friendly as the film portrays. Lenny Riefenstahl is also portrayed as being rather chummy with Jesse Owens, but there's a lot of evidence showing that she held the same ideals as the rest of the Nazi Party, and was very close with Hitler. As good as Carice Van Houten is in the role, I cannot help but wonder about the historical accuracy of her portrayal. That aside, the scenes in the Olympics are really well directed, and it's hard not to root for Owens. His relationship with German runner Karl Lung is also nicely portrayed here, and you really get a sense of why they became such quick friends at the Games. Despite the depiction of Riefenstahl, the film still shows a lot of the cruelty of the Nazi Party, including their influence over that year's Olympics, especially when two Jewish-American athletes were removed from the final relay event. Race does not rewrite the biopic handbook, but as a look at why Jesse Owens was such a great athlete, and why he was such an important figure in showing the flaws of the Aryan ideal being promoted at the time, Race is a more than worthy tribute to him. And finally, we have one of the films nominated for Best Foreign Language Film at this year's Academy Awards. Hailing from Colombia, the film is Embrace of the Serpent. Every year, it seems like one of these films ends up being nominated in the foreign film category, and I'm confused as to why. This is the kind of movie that hides its empty story behind artistry and black and white photography. The film is clearly making a point about how we came into the world's jungles and messed with the environment, but tells it in such a ham-fisted way, with characters constantly speechifying. There's also no reason for this film to be in black and white. I think black and white photography is wonderful, and there are a lot of films where it looks stunning and serves a purpose. But Embrace of the Serpent was shot in the Amazon, one of the most colorful places on Earth, from the green of the trees to the brown of the mud to the yellow fruits. And they decided to shoot it in black and white? I understand they wanted to make it look like an old-time photograph, but it just seems like a waste of resources to me. And the only time color is used in the film just makes the movie look full of itself. A lot of it just consists of walking through the jungle, and I was never emotionally invested in the characters. There are a couple of sequences that are out there and leave a memorable impression, like a sequence where a German explorer has a row with a couple of natives about his compass, and a really bonkers scene involving a cult of Brazilian zealots. But overall, Embrace of the Serpent did not do much for me. When it comes to South American films tackling this topic, I much preferred Karl Hamburger's Jingu. If you can find that film on Netflix or something, it's worth a look. But I cannot quite agree with the Academy nominating this in their Best Foreign Language Film category. So that's it for this weekend. I'll see you next time.